Hey, Sunita,
Hi.
tell me about your T-shirt.
Oh, do you love it?
Yeah, I'm going. Don't freak out. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm about to put you in full screen so we can all see it. Don't freak
Oh,
out. I'm still here.
all right. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite a similar design to what you might have seen, particularly on Queen Street, with the man up, and it
Mm.
usually says man up, and oh my god, it's opposite. I don't know what I'm doing. And it usually says two tangata, but this one says fuck up, poo tangata, and these were designed and sold by the Bloody Samoan. So I jumped on there as soon as I could to get one of these. So definitely go ahead and do that. From the Bloody Samoan, he's got TikTok and Insta and all that, and he has a store where he sells things like this. And
Yep.
I was wearing this when I was walking out of the Auckland Quarry Lounge, and Brian and Hannah just as
Did they
they were
see
going
you?
in. They went up the stairs, I went down the elevator, and apparently people saw me walk out into the general airport and were like, and I had no idea, but I was proudly wearing this.
Um. So let's have a talk about this. You sort of like when we have a guest host on, we want to be able to kind of incorporate part of their world into the conversation. Reminds me, tomorrow night we've got Paul Barlow coming on Whānau. Paul's going to be talking more about local body stuff. He's a bit of an expert in that area. It's where he's planted his flag this time around. And we're also supposed to have Debbie Nato-Apaka as well, talking about this Gaza UN situation. But for right now, you've been in our conversations for the last couple of years, to do with Destiny. We're not going to play all of this, but this is the new series of Under His Command. Again, John Campbell, and he does an episode entitled Destiny versus Drag Queens or something like that. I'm not going to play it all, but we'll just give people an idea. Of course, it's not going to go for me now because I just tried to pause it at a funny time.
I've only watched it as soon as it came out at 6 a.m. that day. I haven't watched it since, so I haven't absorbed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to watch it again and be able, because a lot of people are asking me questions and I just don't even know what I was watching.
Sure, but whilst the advert's playing, we'll let that do it in the background. Give us the rundown of like, for example, the interaction you and your business have had with Destiny, and then we'll have a bit of a look at the new series. Give us the background.
Yeah, so my business has taken a massive hit in regards to everything we do. I had just built it up from COVID, doing all of these amazing tours. Of course, I focus a lot on drag, LGBT. I myself am an ally. I'm not part of the community. I'm just a huge ally and advocate. And so I was doing a lot of shows that were really sort of supporting and uplifting the LGBT community, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Rainbow Storytime, all that sort of stuff. And we were pretty much on a high. We really were. And then Rainbow Storytime started getting protested against. We got threatened. We had death threats. We got shut down. And my business suffered greatly. My best friend, Daniel, who was Erica Flash, the drag queen, we lived together. We worked together. We did everything together. He was my muse. He moved up to London because he needed to get away from it all. It was just way too much for him. So he's been living over there since April last year. I calculated with my lawyer that I have made a loss just in the last year of this happening of over $120,000 in the year of what I would have normally had. And of course, this being the 50th anniversary of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, we should be constantly on tour right now and doing our shows and doing all of our tributes. But we haven't been able to do a single thing. We haven't done anything since May last year, I believe it is. I've packed my drag away. Everything's in boxes. Usually that is where my drag wardrobe and all my wigs are. It's gone. So it's taken a real hit. And we just don't feel safe to be able to do anything because they used all of our images from the Rocky Horror Picture Show as they protested and painted over the Gisborne Rainbow Crossing. So they are directly attacking my actors, the image that we have, the shows that we do. And then they go and do stupid things like buying up all the tickets or registering all the spaces for any event so that no one turns up to it. So spiteful little petty things like that just absolutely crush people. That's the kind of stuff that we're up against.
Wouldn't be so bad if they bought them. There's that famous line from NWA where Eazy-E, the boys in the band are getting pretty annoyed because there's these people stomping all over their CDs, and Eazy-E goes, "Well, they bought them, they paid for them, they can do what they want with them." So
no, it's I mean, this is Gisborne, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you'll see they're holding up pickets with posters on it, and it's images of my actors in Rocky Horror Picture Show. So that's why we don't feel safe. We've been asked to do it in front of Richard O'Brien himself for March next year. I've basically had to turn it down because I can't guarantee safety, and I feel sick to my stomach. I'm so full of anxiety that I can't do anything. I've been asked numerous times to do drag workshops and to go and speak at places. I was supposed to speak at the Decult conference. And we just received too many threats. Look, there was the picture there of Daniel as Frankenfurter. So it's just, it's too much for us and for me. And I cannot see anything happen to any of my cast and the people at a venue, let alone if it's kids or audience members that are coming along to the shows and people of the LGBT community that are trying to express themselves in their best way because they are supposed to feel safe at our events, but they're getting chastised outside. So this is the issue. I just got doxed last night on TikTok. Someone published up my phone number and my name on TikTok, and I had to go to the police, and he's threatening to put up my address. And, these are the kinds of things that I'm having to deal with on a daily basis. And it's absolutely awful. God, I looked awful in there.
That's not the takeaway, Sunita. That's not the takeaway of this conversation.
But that's the impact that it's had. I work for myself. I'm under a lot of stress at the moment, so I'm basically on a bit of a supported living benefit. I'm about to go get a big surgery done because my diabetes has gotten so bad from stress and anxiety that now I need to get a insulin pump installed, but I can't get it because I got too much scar tissue. So I need to go get, I need to look after my own health as well. So it's awful. I've just today lent out all of my Rocky Horror costumes to a friend who's doing doing the time warp as part of one of their shows, end of year shows. And usually I wouldn't be able to do that because we have to use it. But it's all I can do is just do what I do. And you'll notice I'm hardly doing anything for the rainbow community at the moment because I feel like I'm a liability to them. Anything I go to or put my name to is going to get heat. So I've had to lay really low in order to save them, to be honest.
And I was going to ask you about Richard O'Brien. I interviewed Richard O'Brien when I was working at ZB quite soon after he moved back to New Zealand. I remember we played him Dave Dobbins' Welcome Home, and we kind of went, we're playing this for you, and he got all emotional. It was lovely. And he said to us in the interview that he doesn't allow non-professional groups to perform it. So you'll never see a high school doing it, sort of thing. So it's a pretty good feather in your cap that you guys can even do it from the the restrictions. He actually puts restrictions around groups doing it. So to give kind of permission to do it, that's pretty cool for you.
Yeah, well, so what we do is the shadow cast. So it's not the actual full musical playwrights. But I can tell you that the Tairi Musical Theatre Group in Dunedin actually have the rights for next year. So they're the first group to get the rights. But there's also in March next year, the UK tour of the Rocky Horror Show is coming to Christchurch, Auckland, and Wellington as well. So yeah, it's very hard to get the rights. And I literally spoke to Richard myself and I said, when can I get them? And he's just like, oh, it's very hard to get. So yeah, but he has seen what Dan does with Frankenfurter, and he's where we met his son Linus, and as he was filming this new documentary, The Strange Journey. So we've had quite a good involvement with Richard. Good. And he's amazing. The thing is, he doesn't get anything from the movie. So everything is from the play. So as much as you can, try to support the play itself, because that's where Richard gets the support from that.
I didn't know he didn't get anything for the movie. That seems wrong, slightly.
It got bought out, didn't it? So Disney now own it. So Frankenfurter's a Disney princess. But yeah.
Moana, Frankenfurter, perfect.
Totally.
Before we have a look at the show, the last time we talked to you was you were talking about your legal action ahead of what's going on. Any updates on that? Like you're suing basically. Let's to synopsize it. You're suing B Tam for a couple of mil. Any updates on that at the moment? Anything we need to know?
So I don't know if I'm going to get myself in trouble. Hopefully not. But
yeah, well, just actually, don't share anything that could But I'm just saying it's more to make sure you keep your legality and your side safe. Yeah. But anything you can share?
Well, we did have my lawyer had the first hearing the same day the John Campbell interview came out a couple of weeks ago. First ever High Court hearing that he attended. I didn't need to attend. So we're just waiting on the outcome of that. And that's in regards to some of the lesser charges on the lesser people, and in regards to, not necessarily getting back to the courts and, providing what is legally required of them. So that's something that we're looking at first before the big stuff happens. So is
Tamaki just ignoring it, just ignoring the process?
Not necessarily himself, but I mean, Brian Tamaki is one defender and respondent. The church is another respondent, so the whole committee, and then there are I think 5 or 6 smaller respondents, so members of the church and other leaders, pastors. So there are ultimately 7 or 8 people who we are actually taking action against, and there's about 26 actions that we're taking.
Not to talk necessarily about Brian now, right? So we don't make it personal about your case, but if someone gets had for $2 million, how enforceable is that in New Zealand? Like, because you hear about in America, they're like, oh, we'll give you $5 a week for the next 40 years. Like, how does that, do you know that, let's say in a completely unrelated case, a person was found guilty of defamation and was awarded $2 million. The person who's been awarded that $2 million, how do they collect? What do they have that enables them to collect the money?
So I don't know fully well about this, but I just know that they will go into their financials and figure out whether they're needing to sell assets. They might end up getting bankrupted. If you're looking at an organization, they'll look into their financials and go, well, no, yes, you can pay that all in a lump sum, and that's what we're wanting. But I think there are probably cases where it is going to be bit by bit by bit. So it's pretty much it's kind of like means tested, I guess, and the ability to do it, but they may have to sell assets.
You hear that's the thing. I wonder what assets they have, because I think that big place out Mount Wellington is always rented. So I wonder, I mean, I don't know what's going on with your case, but, I don't think Brian Tamaki is a trustee on any of the church things. He's kind of in name only. He's not legally connected to it. So I don't know. I mean, just when we hear what we're going to talk about now, I'll just show a little bit of which is the new season of John Jay's series. That how loose they've been on doing returns to the IRD. They don't seem to be particularly active in responding to demands from government agencies. I wonder, should it get to that, what that will look like. So here's a little bit of this new episode from you, with you.
Thank you all for coming. My name is Sunita Torrance, and my fellow artist Daniel Lockett and I, we're the performers behind Rainbow Storytime, the Drag Queen Act. We are Coco and Erica Flash. I'm Coco.
And this is Daniel, aka Erica Flash.
There we go. That's quite a good place to leave it, isn't it? Right? I mean, just to pause it, we can see what's going on there. With I can't tell of the three of them who is the most glamorous, but it's going. It's. I mean, your glasses and his glasses are basically the same size, really.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You talk in this episode about having being attacked basically online and that. How's that all for you at the moment? Are you safe at the moment? Do you feel safe? Is it an ongoing situation? Like, I imagine every time something comes out, there'll be another load online for you.
Another wave. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, but actually, the person that doxed me last night and is threatening me from last night is actually someone who is against Destiny Church himself as well. So it's kind of strange, but they've just kind of tried to insert themselves into our case, and I've had to denounce them. So that's what that was, but it's all sort of relative. But yeah, and there's just been some ongoing things going on, and yeah, this is one major thing that I can't really talk about just now because we're going through a whole heap of stuff with it. But basically, inappropriate physical examination by a medical professional involved with Destiny Church. Yeah, I guess it makes it as broad as possible, but things like that are happening to me, and Destiny Church is being brought into it, and it's just like, this is, yeah, it's a lot bigger than everyone even realized it would be. There are a lot more players in this than you think.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I do wonder as well. You said you trained to be a nurse and you went down that path, how you would have got this outfit into the Nurses Council. I'm not sure.
Great, the kids' ward.
Not sure quite how that would have worked. But yeah, look, we've been in touch with you since, sort of this all came out, and we'll continue to do so. And, if you need anything else, let us know. We did that rainbow buffer fundraising for you and that kind of stuff. We're happy to be behind you, and whether it's just you need personal support from behind, or whether you need publicity and support from the community, we're here, if nothing else.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, our Give a Little page is still up and running. We're currently 200K behind with the lawyer, but don't worry about it. We'll get there. We'll get it out the winnings, I'm sure. But yeah.
Is that how it works? Like, is that how it works? Like, so what happens? So you got a 200K debt. If let's not hope and pray this doesn't happen, but if you weren't to get a settlement, does that then just become your personal debt?
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big deal.
It's a pretty big deal, yeah. But now, because of my health and everything like that, we have now been able to switch on to legal aid, which is amazing.
Right.
But not before we already racked up that 200K because of discovery, which is all the evidence and data and everything we had to collate with heaps of people helping. Yeah. So, the very big stuff, we didn't have the legal aid for that yet. So we've only just got onto that in the last month or so. So, yeah, it's a bit scary.
Well, best of luck with however that works out. And as I said, we'll be here to help if and when we can. And if you don't need us, we'll be here on the sidelines watching. So.
Oh, thank you guys so much, everyone.